There is a whisper inside you that has never stopped calling. It has been with you since you were born, maybe before. It's the sense that this reality, this version of life you're living, is only a sliver of what's possible. You feel it in quiet moments. You sense it in your dreams. You glimpse it when time seems to dissolve, and something larger, something eternal brushes against your awareness. This whisper is not your imagination. It is your connection to the quantum field, the infinite living consciousness that holds every version of you, every possibility, every timeline you could ever step into. And here's the truth. The version of you that is abundant, healed, fulfilled, radiant already exists, not in some distant future, not after you've worked hard enough, but now vibrating in the field waiting for you to align. This is the sacred art of quantum jumping. Most people misunderstand it. They think it's a mental exercise, a visualization, a trick to get what they want. But the mystics, the great teachers, the pioneers like Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton, they know something deeper. You are not separate from your desired reality. You are entangled with it. The quantum field is not a place you go. It's the fabric of what you already are. And when you shift your vibration, when you align your mind, your heart, your body, you collapse into the timeline that has been waiting for you all along. Bruce Lipton's work reveals that you are not limited by your DNA, your past, or your circumstances. Your biology responds to your environment, and you are the architect of your internal environment. Every thought, every emotion, every belief sends chemical signals through your body, shaping your cells, sculpting your future. Joe Dispenza teaches that you can't create a new reality while living in the emotions of your old self. If you wake up with the same thoughts, feel the same fears, follow the same routines, you collapse the same reality over and over. To quantum jump, you must break the spell. Let me tell you something sacred. The quantum field responds not to what you want, but to what you broadcast, your desires, your affirmations, your vision boards. They are surface-level signals. The true signal comes from your embodied state, from the frequency you hold in your heart, your breath, your body. This is why people struggle. They try to think their way into a new life, but they carry the emotional residue of the old one. They want abundance, but they vibrate scarcity. They want love, but they vibrate fear. They want health, but they vibrate doubt. The quantum can only meet you where you are. So here's the invitation. Step beyond the surface of your mind. Go deeper into the felt sense of your being. Imagine the version of you who is already living in the timeline you desire. How do they feel in their body? What energy do they radiate? What decisions do they make effortlessly? This is not about pretending. It's about remembering. It's about activating the frequency of the self you were always meant to become. Pause for a moment now. Close your eyes if you wish. Take a breath. Feel the subtle current of possibility running through you. It's been here all along. It's the part of you that knows without proof, without evidence, that something more is available. That you are meant to live in alignment, coherence, expansion. This is the doorway. And in the next section, we will step through it. We will explore how the quantum field responds to the dominant signal you send, why biology and consciousness are entwined, and how to break free from the patterns that keep pulling you back into old timelines. The question is, are you ready to remember who you truly are? If you're still here, it means something inside you is awake. Maybe you don't have the words for it yet. Maybe you can't explain why, but you feel the pull, the magnetic tug of a new timeline calling you forward. This is the call of the quantum jump. The moment when you stop waiting for life to shift and realize you are the one who shifts. Let's go deeper. Quantum jumping is often misunderstood. People think it's about imagining a new life or hoping for a miracle, but in truth, it's about collapsing into a higher vibrational reality, one that already exists in the infinite quantum field. Here's the science behind it. Quantum physics teaches that every possibility, every version of you, every potential timeline is vibrating in the field of infinite energy. You right now are entangled with these potentials. And here's the key, the observer effect says that what you focus on, what you observe, what you emotionally invest in, collapses the wave of probability into the particle of reality. Simpler terms, your attention plus your emotional state, the timeline you experience. Joe Dispenza's work explains this beautifully. The quantum field doesn't respond to your wishes or your goals. It responds to the energetic signature you emit. So if you keep focusing on what's missing, if you keep feeling the emotions of lack, fear, or frustration, you're unintentionally collapsing timelines that mirror those states. Bruce Lipton adds to this by showing how your biology is shaped not by your genes, but by the chemical environment you create through your thoughts and emotions. Your body is constantly listening, adjusting, responding. It's not a passive passenger, it's a co-creator, When you combine these insights, something powerful emerges. Quantum jumping is not a mind game. It's an act of embodied transformation. Let me illustrate. Imagine two versions of yourself. One wakes up in the morning immediately checking their phone, feeling anxious about the day, rehearsing old worries and habits. Their body releases stress hormones. Their nervous system tightens. They walk through the world collapsing the same limited timeline they've always known. The other version wakes up with a breath of gratitude. They tune into the feeling of possibility, even before evidence arrives. They soften their body, open their heart, align their mind with trust and expansion. Their chemistry shifts. Their electromagnetic field changes. Their signal to the quantum alters, and the field in turn collapses into a new reality. Same person, different vibration, different timeline. Here's what most people miss. Quantum jumping isn't about effort. It's about coherence. Coherence means your thoughts, emotions, body, and energy are all aligned toward the same signal. No contradiction, no inner war, no subconscious pullback. Joe Dispenza teaches that when you enter a coherent state, you unlock the heart's electromagnetic power. You balance brainwave patterns. You become a beacon to the quantum field. And Bruce Lipton shows that when you shift from survival mode, fight or flight, into growth mode, trust, openness, your biology opens the door to healing, regeneration, and new expression. So why is it so hard to jump? Because most people are chemically addicted to the old self. Their body craves the familiar emotions of the past. Their subconscious resists the unfamiliarity of the new. They try to leap mentally, but their body pulls them back. This is why embodiment matters. To quantum jump, you must not only think about the new timeline, you must feel it, breathe it, walk it, become it. Let's pause here. Close your eyes if you like. Take a deep, slow breath. What timeline have you been unconsciously feeding? What emotional states have you been rehearsing on autopilot? What would it feel like, truly feel like, to stand in the vibration of the version of you who has already leapt? This is not about forcing change, it's about softening into coherence. It's about remembering that the quantum field is alive, waiting, responsive. It's about realizing that your future self is not separate, but already reaching for you across the veil. Before we move forward, I invite you, if this resonates, if part of you is awakening, in the comments, leave a simple word that captures the timeline you are ready to step into. It could be freedom, abundance, health, love, trust, or anything that lights you up. Let it be a declaration, not for me, but for you, and for the quantum field that is always listening. Let's go even deeper. You've now understood that quantum jumping is not about wishing, wanting, or even visualizing harder. It's about alignment, a total vibrational match between who you are being now and the version of you that already lives in the higher timeline you desire. But here's the most overlooked truth. The leap is not external, it's internal. When people hear quantum jump, they often imagine something dramatic, a sudden external miracle. But quantum shifts don't happen because the universe suddenly changes around you. They happen because you change your state, and the universe, in accordance with the observer effect, reflects that new state back to you. Joe Dispenza teaches this. When you close your eyes and step beyond your senses, when you leave behind your familiar identity, your name, your past, your body, your environment, you enter the quantum field as pure consciousness, and from this space you can begin to create. But creation doesn't come from the mind alone. It comes from the heart, the body, the energy system working as one. You must feel the feelings of the new reality ahead of the evidence. This is where many people get stuck. They try to think abundance while still feeling lack. They try to affirm love while still vibrating fear. They try to visualize healing while still carrying doubt in their cells. The quantum field responds not to mixed signals, but to coherent energy. Bruce Lipton's work shows that the subconscious mind runs about 95% of your life. If your subconscious beliefs are still programmed by old stories, I'm not worthy, I can't have what I want, life is hard, then no matter how hard you consciously try to jump, your biology will pull you back. This is why quantum jumping requires reprogramming. So how do you reprogram? You don't fight the old, you create the new. Here's the process. Step 1. Enter the state beyond the old self through meditation, breathwork, or intentional focus. Step out of your familiar identity. As Dispenza says, become no one, nowhere, in no time. Pure awareness. Step 2. Activate elevated emotions. Don't just think about the new timeline, feel it. What does the version of you who has left feel in their body? Gratitude, freedom, joy, peace. Generate these feelings now ahead of evidence. Step 3. Embody the frequency. Daily quantum jumps are not one-time events. They are sustained by daily alignment. This means catching yourself when you slip into old emotions, breathing yourself back into coherence and acting from the new state again and again. Step 4, trust the field. Let go of how and when the external shift will appear. Remember, reality rearranges around your dominant frequency, not your timeline or impatience. The field is responding always. Let me give you an example. Imagine 2 timelines. In one, you wake up and immediately remember everything you're worried about. You check your phone. You contract. You rush through your day. Even if you try to manifest, you're doing it from a state of survival. In the other, you wake up, take a breath, connect to your heart, and feel into the version of you who is already living your dream life. You walk, speak, and make decisions from that state. You carry it with you, not for a moment, but for hours, days, weeks, until it becomes who you are. Which version do you think the quantum field responds to? Quantum jumping is not performance. It's not about faking it. It's about remembering and rehearsing a new way of being until it rewires your mind, your body, and your life. Joe Dispenza calls this becoming familiar with the unknown, stepping into uncertainty not with fear but with excitement. Bruce Lipton calls this changing the signal you broadcast, telling yourselves a new story through your chemistry. Pause now. Take a breath. Close your eyes if you wish. Imagine you've already made the jump, you've already collapsed the old timeline, you've already aligned with your highest self. How does that feel? What changes inside you right now just by entertaining that possibility? Before we continue, I invite you, say it out loud as it was a simple declaration. I am ready. You are not speaking to me. You are speaking to yourself, to yourselves, to the quantum. You've come farther than you realize. You've crossed internal thresholds that most people spend lifetimes circling. But here's the truth you need to carry forward. The leap is not the end. The leap is the beginning. Quantum jumping is not a singular moment of transformation. It is a continuous act of embodiment, a repeated decision to live as the version of yourself who has already crossed into the higher timeline. The danger is not that you will fail once or twice. It's that you will fall back into the comfort of the old timeline, not because it's better, but because it's familiar. Every day you are faced with small doorways, tiny openings where the old and the new timeline collide. When a doubt creeps in, when a frustration flares, when an old habit seduces you, these are not signs you are failing. They are tests, invitations, thresholds. The question is not whether the new timeline is real. It already is. The question is whether you will claim it again and again until it becomes your new home. To sustain the shift, you must become deeply intentional about the energy you feed. Every thought, every choice, every word you speak is an offering. Are you offering it to the old timeline, the one where you are small, limited, fearful, doubting? Or are you offering it to the new timeline, the one where you are expansive, trusting, abundant, aligned? This is not about perfection. It's not about never slipping or falling or wavering. It's about the frequency you return to, about the vibration you strengthen with your repeated attention. You see, the quantum field is not testing you, it is reflecting you. And your power is not in forcing the field to bend to your will, but in aligning so fully with the version of yourself, your desire to be, that the field has no choice but to mirror that back. This is why ritual matters. Not because rituals are magic, but because they anchor your focus, your energy, your intention. When you light a candle, speak an affirmation, take a conscious breath, you are not just performing an act. You are planting a flag in the new timeline. You are saying, I belong here. I live here. Now let your life become a living ritual. Let your mornings begin not with a rush of habit, but with a pause, a breath, a remembering. Who am I today? Which version of myself am I feeding? Let your daytime moments be punctuated by small returns to presence, a hand on your heart, a whisper of trust, a closing of the eyes to feel the energy you are choosing. Let your nights end not in the repetition of the day's worries, but in a rehearsal of the future you have already claimed. Thank you. Thank you for the life I am stepping into. Thank you for the shift that is already unfolding. And when you are tested, as you will be, remember the test is not a punishment. The test is a mirror. It shows you where you are still entangled with the old. It invites you to choose again. The test does not ask you to fight the old. It asks you to feed the new, to become so saturated in the frequency of the higher timeline that the old timeline dissolves by lack of nourishment. You are not just manifesting events. You are manifesting a self, an identity, a beingness. The shift you are making is not about getting something. It's about being someone, and that someone is already alive inside you, waiting not to be created but to be unveiled. Pause for a moment. Breathe into your chest, your heart, your belly. Feel where you are holding tension, resistance, doubt, not to judge it but to soften it. Gently say to yourself, perhaps even out loud, I trust the leap. I trust the shift. I trust the becoming. Feel the energy inside you recalibrate even slightly. This is the work. This is the path. Before we move into the final part of this journey, take a moment to anchor this energy. In the comments, share one practice, one ritual, one commitment you are making to sustain your leap. Maybe it's a morning intention, a word you will whisper, a gesture you will offer yourself. Let it be small but real. Let it be yours. This space is here to witness you, to hold you, to remind you that you are not doing this alone. You have arrived at the edge of yourself, and here at this trembling threshold you can feel it, the pulse of the life you are stepping into, not the life you wish for, not the life you chase, but the life you embody. The shift you are making is not about adding something to yourself. It is about peeling away everything that was never truly you. The fear, the doubt, the inherited stories, the conditioned patterns. They are not your essence. They are costumes you learned to wear. And now here you are standing bare, heart open, ready to clothe yourself in the frequency of your true becoming. Quantum jumping is not a game of chasing outcomes. It is the art of remembering. Remembering that the timeline where you are already aligned, already abundant, already whole, already free, exists now. It exists in this breath, this moment, this very heartbeat. And you access it not by forcing, not by striving, but by surrendering into the truth that you are and have always been a co-creator with the universe. The field responds to you because the field is you. It does not test you. It mirrors you. It does not withhold from you. It dances with your vibration. The more you collapse into coherence when your thoughts, emotions, choices, and energy flow in unity, the more the quantum rearranges around you to reflect that state. But here's the secret you carry forward. The leap is not once. The e-leap is daily, hourly, moment by moment. Each breath, each decision, each whisper in your own mind is a crossing. Are you choosing the timeline where you stay small, apologetic, hesitant? Or are you breathing into the timeline where you rise, where you claim, where you shine without explanation or delay? You have everything you need. Not tomorrow. Not after you fix something or prove something or master something. Now here you are already encoded with the signal of your highest self. You simply need to tune to it, trust it, strengthen it. Let this be your practice. Awaken each day not with a checklist of what you must achieve to be worthy, but with the quiet knowing that you are already worthy. Walk into your day not as someone trying to manifest, but as someone already manifesting by the way you hold your gaze, the way you speak your truth, the way you soften when tension arises, the way you remember when the old timeline beckons in moments of doubt. Return here to your breath, to your center, to the still unwavering truth that you are the portal, the bridge, the key. There is no separation between you and the version of yourself you long to meet. That version of you is already here, woven into your cells, humming beneath your skin, pulsing in the space between your thoughts. Pause now. Breathe into this moment. Feel the current of life running through you. Not the life you inherited, not the life you settled for, but the life you choose. Whisper to yourself, perhaps even aloud, I am aligned. I am leaping. I am becoming. This is not the end of a journey. This is the start of a new rhythm, a new home frequency, a new relationship with life where you no longer wait, no longer bargain, no longer shrink. You rise, you leap, you sustain. If this journey has stirred something inside you, if you feel the click, the shift, the quiet yes rising in your heart, I invite you to subscribe. Not as a follower, but as a co-creator, a fellow traveler, a being who is here to expand and align and remember. And in the comments, share one word, one powerful word that captures your leap. It could be sovereignty, freedom, love, flow, abundance, or a word only you know. Let it be a signal not just to me, not just to this community, but to the field itself. Declare it, anchor it, breathe it into the quantum where it can ripple, echo, and return to you magnified. Thank you for walking this journey. Thank you for your presence, your energy, your trust. Keep leaping, keep softening, keep becoming. Because the truth is, you are not here to observe the magic. You are here to be the magic. And when you remember that, when you embody that, the quantum always responds.